Good morning, good morning. What do y'all say we get started? Happy 1st of February. Happy Groundhog Day, I guess. Or is that tomorrow? I don't remember. Who's in the chat already? Let's see. Wick Central, good morning. Nathan, RJ Repo Man, Martin, Cybertech, Shrimp Father, Martin. NJ, Reth, always. Good morning. Penguin Makers, good morning. Mike, it's your mom's birthday. Happy birthday to your mom. Look at those lasers. What lasers? Yeah, so good morning. Good morning. Hopefully audio's okay. Everyone can hear some music. Gergman, good morning. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of A5T today. Someone clip that for the soundboard. Oh, happy birthday to your mom. GHD is the second. Oh, so tomorrow then. Okay. I don't know. I thought it was today. But realistically, every day is Groundhog Day. That's what makes it Groundhog Day. Hey, Petty. All right. Skyrim, good morning. Sorry, a little sick. Hurt my back this week too, so I'm feeling a little sluggish and slow today. Not moving as well as I normally would be. There's some bad mom jokes. You're holding, no holding back. Send it, full send. Just don't get yourself booted out of chat because the cloud bot is not nice. Promise you don't mean that. I don't know, man. My stream is pretty loosey-goosey. I like to have fun, so as long as they're not mean to individuals, I think I'm okay with that. But everybody likes a good mom joke. Sucks getting older. I'm not getting older. I'm getting younger. I'm in that Benjamin Button timeline where you go backwards. But no, I did something stupid and tweaked it. But yeah, 2 busted shoulders, 2 busted hips, and it probably has to do with the low back. So it's all good. We'll get it taken care of. Rub some dirt on it. Cool, so you guys want to check out A5T? I did post the link in chat, so it's pinned at the top if you want to check out the project. It's from Suzuki, who did a lot of the work to take A4T and modify it so that you could add 50-15 fans instead of the 40-10s. Keela, good morning. Welcome to Getting Older. Yeah, so you can use 50-15, just get that little bit better part cooling for your project. I'm a little bit concerned, and we'll get into it here in a second, but I'm a little bit worried that it may or may not work for this particular project. I think it'll work fine for anything that is standard Voron or standard clockwork mounting system, but I'm not sure it's going to work for us here. We're going to have to double check and see what we can do. There's a couple of solutions, so we'll go through what that looks like. All right, so let me bring you down. We'll show you the A5T setup I have. So this is it here. I had to reprint, and it hurt my heart because I did so much work to add a pattern here. Hey, pop away. Just so I could find one. I had a pattern on here that I went into CAD and added myself, and not part of the project, so you won't see it on the GitHub that's posted in the chat there at the top. And then I printed it in multicolor and all that stuff, and it's not going to work for us. I'll show you why. 1 second. So this is the original here that I printed. So you see the tricolor came out really, really nice. I was super happy with it, super proud of it. Even put the heat sets in there to start to get it to work. But then if you notice, right here is an incline. So I think this was probably a beta part that I printed a little bit too early. You have this steep incline here. What I needed And here's a third version. What I needed was a pocket like this one where it's more vertical. And that is because of the mount that we're using for the LGX. So the LGX, this purple piece, has a 90 degrees straight up and down back portion. You can kind of see it here. That is not going to work on an inclined portion like that. And so I don't know what I did, but couldn't use it. And so even though we are ready to go with this one, I can't leave well enough alone. I'm going to end up tearing this down, reprinting with this pattern once again so that we look a little less plain on the front here. The other option would be to just print the hexagons and glue them on, but that would look a little jank to me and I don't want to do that. So that's the project. This one could also work. I could just swap over to this one as well. But this is A4T, so it's the other version that we're not going to use. You need to make a dock for it now? Yeah. Yeah, you do. Duh. Hey, when that happens, yeah. Why can't the piece be inclined? Pop away. So the purple piece here has a vertical rear portion right there. That's straight up and down to align with the back of the LGX. And so it doesn't recess far enough to be able to access the mounting points for the extruder here. And so it's too far forward. So, I mean, the other option is to redesign this to have more of an angle, but then you lose two of your mounting points for your LGX and it becomes less secure. Yeah, you could redo the mount. But again, there are four mounting points for the LGX that come up through the bottom. You would lose the aft 2 points on here, and you'd only have the front two, which makes this less rigid. Hey, Pez Liz, good morning. Rise and shine. Currently watching with Oh No It's Mike. Spooky Sarah, welcome. Hey, RS Makes. Yeah, so there's a lot going on with that. This one doesn't work, but I like it, so we're going to keep it anyway. And maybe I'll post it on the wall or something like that. But this is A5T. These are GDS time fans. So just regular normal fans. What else? 2510 fan here. Or sorry, maybe it's a 3010. I forget off the top of my head. I think it's a 3010 fan inside here. This is a Fabrico Honey Badger fan. And also tube compact. So tube compact and Nighthawk 36 revision C. These hot end connections here do create a little bit of interference. I can force them around the, what is that, the bearing, and it'll end up working. But it is a little tight. I'm considering removing the ferrules on this and just doing direct wire connections in there to make that a little nicer and not as much pressure on that connection. But yeah, Toolhead looks serious. It does. It does look serious. It's ready to play. But this is just using up extra hardware that I had lying around. So this is a spare LGX that I've had lying around for a while with no real plan for it. This is a Nighthawk because that's kind of my preference these days. I'd like to use the tube compact on something. It was in my inertia cube that I'm having trouble getting to work well, so I just yanked it out of there. And then these are just extra fans as well. Yeah, tube mini. So yeah, there's A5T. Let's see if this actually works on the printer though. I'm not entirely 100% sure it's going to work on the machine itself. So let's see if we can make that happen. Let me get you a good view on the camera. Bring this up so we can see the gantry at least. About right there. Does that look good? Go in a little tighter. Bring this forward and we'll see. So I've already routed the other end of the Nighthawk, so this is the portion that goes down into the bay below. That was pretty simple to make happen. I did have to de-pin the other end of it down here and run it through this lower plate. It's a very tight entryway back here, and so the connection wouldn't fit, so I had to de-pin, snake it through, and then re-pin on the far side here. But the goal is to get this mounted today and see if that works. So that's just sitting on there right there, and I think that looks pretty decent. What I don't know is if the hot end is long enough and all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to see how we fare. I was able to get the clicky mounted. So the clicky is mounted here. This is the NG version of it. So no glue or next gen, whatever it actually stands for. And then did a rough measurement and pin out of the probe, and did the same at the rear for the X-end stop. Haggerty Hags. Is converting from a Nighthawk to a regular Nighthawk pretty easy? Yeah. Obviously different mounting solution. Electronically, yeah, the cable should be the same. So whether it's a SB or a 36 like I'm using, you're gonna have this 3030 Molex connection here, this 3030 XT. This is the same regardless of what you're using, so this should just connect to whatever new board you want to go to, whether it's the SB or the 36, and then operate exactly the same. You don't even need to switch your daughter board down below. You just plug this into the new one and you'll be good to go. The other part is the Vitali mount. So I have that on the LGX as well. That's how we're able to mount the Nighthawk in this orientation. I did do the printed version. It's a little more beefy, but it's the printed version of the Nighthawk. And it has this strain relief that you put on here. You stick a string of filament through and connect that, and it provides a little bit of strain relief with some wobble. So I did end up printing that. It didn't come out too nice. The filament was printed at a high layer height, so a 0.6 layer height, and it just came out like trash. So I didn't like it anyway. Luckily I had that Vitali mount there. Not running any LEDs on this. I think it would be overkill for the old school feel of this machine, so I'm not going to do that. I will do LEDs up top in the machine though for chamber lighting, but yeah, nothing in the tool head. Although I will probably later regret that when I don't have nozzle LEDs. So we'll see how it shapes up, especially if I have to reprint this anyway to incorporate hexagons on the front. I'll probably just go back in at that point and add some LEDs. Undecided right now. I need to see if this fits. That's really what I need to do. So it will kind of go in place without too much fuss. I think things line up. There are a few users on the Suzuki Discord who have this installed, and they have it running and things look great. I'm usually not that lucky. I have to fight with things sometimes. You have a Bondtech extruder sitting around, might need to do the A5T. Nice. Are you talking the full size, or are you talking this LGX? That full size one, I'm not sure A5T works with it. I think it's probably too heavy, but I'm not sure. So I'm already seeing that this won't go low enough to be able to engage the threads in the carriage. So I wonder if I need to swap out these connections here to allow some of that movement. Lost my tool under the printer here. All right, so I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to de-pin this a little bit and work on these here to get these tucked up a little nicer to remove that hardware. I lost my tool under the printer. You think that looks fierce? Thanks, Mike. If only I had some of your specialty LEDs. I forgot to even do them. I usually don't care as much. And so I didn't do any. I didn't make any. And then when I was assembling this morning, yeah, I had to reprint this morning as well. So I was up early reprinting all of this because I didn't get to it during the week. And then I realized it's not going to work. And so I was scrambling a couple of hours before stream trying to get things reprinted so that we could actually work. I even forgot to print the small insert here that goes behind your fan to direct air through your hot end. So I had to do that as well. Oh, you have the 2.5 lying around? That works just fine. 2.5 works for the A5T. So it's Sherpa and Orbiter 2 that will satisfy most of the different hot ends that are out there. Or sorry, not hot ends, extruders that are out there. So the one I'm using is the Sherpa A5T. And then it's just the purple adapter to adapt to the LGX. You have one of those two and trying to decide if you want to do this Toolhead or another. What's your other option there, Gergman? What is your luminous rainbow? Nice. Got some of that up top here. It works pretty well. All right, I'm going to try and save as much of the cable length on here. Not that I need it. I've got extra tucked up behind the board, so it's not that I super need it, but I don't like wasting cable length if I don't have to. Let's get some heat shrink out. Upgrading your stealth burner, which has been fine, but limited. Limited how? Like limited by flow? Is that what you mean? I mean, if you're limited by flow, that's a hot end issue, not a toolhead issue. Hey, Aaron, good morning. Are we going hard on the meme today? We're always going hard on the memes. What do you got? Make whatever you like. Yeah, we're doing this guy. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull these off of here, but what I can do, and I've done this before as well, is sometimes it's only the plastic piece that is in the way, so you can trim off this plastic bit on every ferrule and just remove that, and that will keep the metal crimp piece on the wire, which adds a little protection for putting that into your terminal block. So just like so, right? We just remove that off of there, and now we have a ferrule metal piece on the wire. Come on, focus, dude. Yeah, this camera's not playing nice today. Come on. It's just not wanting to play nice at all. Either way, so we're going to do that, and then I'll add on some heat shrink here. Lunch today is barbecue pork bun for $1.50. Jeez. Hey, what's up, John? Good morning. Mainly the fact you're using the Nighthawk with breakout, which most other tool heads would need custom board mounting for. Okay. Hey, Boothie, good afternoon. We are here live today, finally. I feel like it's so long between Sundays. But when I'm when I'm busy, It doesn't feel that long. Like it feels like it goes from Monday to Friday almost instantly. If you have the stock LDO kit, you need to buy a new Nighthawk to use instead of the SB version. Yeah, I think LDO is wanting to promote their stealth burner stuff. That's kind of they want to stay pretty close to what the stock Voron does. And so that's why you're getting a stealth burner, which is a decent hot end. It's not terrible by any means. It works just fine. It just really depends on what you print. So it's got enough cooling and things to do ABS, which is what it's designed to do. But for printing PLA and that kind of stuff, if that's your jam, you may run into some limitations. And there are other options for that reason. Let's just take this other plastic piece off here, see if that gives us enough room. I'm reluctant to trim this any shorter. But, I mean, we have the room, so if I have to, I have to. I just want to try this first. Should we get a message on Discord from... Oh, yeah. So Aaron, Georgie, and Boothie did link up. I do remember that. I don't know if they're still in communication or not, but they did end up linking together. It was a while ago, though. It was a long while ago. So if you bend that while it's still hot, when it cools, it'll keep position. You like the posi hot end? I do as well. It's a pretty good one for what it is. So when you use it on a positron, it works great. Doesn't easily translate to other style printers though. Friday to Sunday goes instantly. Yeah. So like I always get home from work, you know, it's right at dinner time, and then I spend about 2 hours with the family before it's bedtime. And so there's not a lot of time to get out here and tinker during the week. So most of what I get done during the week happens on Saturday, and then with you guys on Sunday. Today actually is going to be even a little bit shorter, just because I've got to get some other things done today. So we're gonna blast through as much as we can with the time we have. What's up, Jeremy? And then we'll get moving on some other stuff I got to get done. So, yeah, here we go. Let's see if that works a little better. Regarding an extruder, held off due to other commitments. Yeah. Yeah, Boothie's been pretty busy lately as well. Okay, that looks better. Let's see if it'll actually line up and work for us. I feel like these upper just don't line up with the holes. Oh, and they're threading in. So normally you'd have 2 M3s that thread into the plastic. And that's what's going on here. So these upper ones thread into plastic, at least on this mount. So we got to be careful with that. We don't want to strip anything. Otherwise, I'm reprinting the whole carriage, and that would not be fun. So we'll just get these in snug-ish. And then the lower ones are really going to hold things. This is meant to secure from the rear on a normal carriage. Not the case here on the Legacy fork, because the Legacy fork has a bearing in that space. So there is no upper coming in from the rear, and there's also access holes from the front in this mount for the extruder that you would normally tighten down as well. Those also don't exist on this. So slightly different based on the carriage we're using. Looks good. Thanks. Please know you started your positron kit. Yay! Boothie's been talking about that positron kit for like 2 months. What do you think so far since you've started, Boothie? Is it everything that you dreamed? I need to pull your finger out. Okay, that one's not going. Let's loosen this one a touch. You've opened the box. Got it. That's the start. That's the start. Opening the box is the key to unlocking everything. Sorry if you guys hear sniffling today. It's a little bit chilly out here. And I don't feel the best. So why are you not going home? Go to your home. Let's loosen a little bit of everything. So we have some room down here. There are 2 heat sets in the bottom of the carriage that this should be grabbing into. It's just not wanting to do that for some reason. So I'll tell you what, let's loosen the top pretty much all the way. Looks good. Thanks, Aaron. Trying to get it to work correctly, though. That would be nice. This doesn't want to align. Not exactly sure why that's the case. Things seem to clear. It's not hitting on anything that I can tell. There's nothing trapped in there. So it should just work. So maybe we just need to do this one first. Still freezing, 14. TJL, sorry, man. That sucks. There's a lot of places, like my parents got snow this morning. My mom texted me and told me they got snow. And they live in the South, so that's different. All right, let's just start with this bottom one and see if I can make that work. Okay, so I think I have a few threads on the bottom there. Let me try to rotate this over. There we go. Let's see if I can get this other side to secure. All right, I think maybe that's the trick. I have to do the bottom first. It's snowing like crazy. Only supposed to be 0.7 inch, but looks like 1 to 2. Wow. Where are you located? Like what state? Because that sounds like a lot. Okay, that's much better. I'll get these top ones started, or at least try to. Let's see if it actually works. Here we go. Yeah, I think that's the trick. Get the bottom ones going, and then the top ones here, little by little, and we'll get this walked into position. The bottom is going to hold the majority of it because those do have the heat sets. And then the top's just going to go into plastic, so let's be careful. Northeast Iowa, not a lot for you guys, but just annoyed. Might have to shovel. That's why you have kids, man. Have them do it. All right. So she is mounted now. Nice. There are a few things I have not done and haven't really spent a lot of time researching. The week just really got away from me. This is literally the first day that I'm wrenching on this thing at all. And normally I'd be out here on Saturday kind of going through it and troubleshooting and planning for today. That didn't happen. We are completely winging it today. So that said, one thing that I had not considered up to now is mounting for your cable. So we get the Nighthawk cable here, plugs into the top of the Nighthawk at the rear, a little bit of strain relief, which is perfect. So that'll just get zip tied in place right at the back with this nice Vitali CNC mount. What I had not looked at yet, and what we need to see, let me move this up a little bit. That, and let's do one of these. So what I need to see is some sort of thing to mount back here at the rear that will add some cable support, because otherwise that's going to drag all over the bed. You can see that. And so I do have some slack. We can take some of this up if needed, but I want to get this as far away as possible. So all the way at the front now, all the way to the left-hand side of the machine, and we can remove some of this slack just by pulling the cable through a little more. So something around in there is kind of what I'm looking for. I can add on some 1mm piano wire to help out. Also, we still need the PTFE tube, so that'll also add some support. We can sleeve this later if desired, but that should work pretty well. I don't have like one of those flexure arms that mounts to 2020 up here. I did not print one of those, so we'll need to find one real quick. If anyone has suggestions on their favorite model to use for that, I would love to see what you come up with. So that needs to happen. I still need to plug in the probe and the XN stop. So let's do that before I forget. And while that's happening, I'll be on the lookout for your guys' recommendations on strain relief for a Trident. Move this back so we can all see a little easier. All right, so like I said, I've already terminated the probe here. This is a clicky probe. And so I've just used the ground and the signal on the connection. And the probe port is the three port connection here at the bottom left. Sorry, the bottom right. The left one is the RGB, which we are not using yet. Okay, so just like this. Okay, so pretty tidy. I'll add a small zip tie here to hold some of that in place like that, and then it'll be nice. And then also our XN stop is the 2-pin connection right here. Add that one. Again, just the ground and signal pins. Come on, fingers. Work like you should. May have to get some tweezers in here just to help me maneuver this. Wire's pretty stiff, so it doesn't want to bend and flex. Come on, baby. There you go. Then just use this to push that in place. Bam. Connections are small. Okay. So again, we'll zip tie that one like so. I still need to trim off some of the extra belt that we have. I'm going to leave that for as long as possible until we get ready to move and whatnot. But we have a good connection. So realistically, if we were to have firmware loaded and whatnot right now, we should be able to talk to the Nighthawk board and get that thing communicating with everything else. All right, so that way, cool. We still need to do our Y end stop. I need to make a pigtail for that and run that down into the electronics bay. I can see right here, I got a little bit of a pigtail that I need to make a cable for. So let me try to catch up on chat here. You have to fly from Maryland to North Florida tomorrow. Change your flight to avoid layover in North Carolina. Can't believe you had to take a winter coat for Florida. Wow. Ice in your rain bucket? Yeah, I think it's been all week. It started last weekend with a huge winter storm coming through and just iced over a lot of places that are not used to getting a lot of ice and snow like that. I can tell you that where I'm at, it's pretty nice. We've got none of that stuff. Got none of that stuff. It's been cold, sure, but not ice and snow at all. And definitely not cold like some of the rest of you. My version of cold here is more like low 40s, upper 30s maybe. Okay, just double checking the hot end. It does look long enough. I was a little bit worried that the hot end, the nozzle was going to not be lower than the bottom of the carriage, and it actually does check out. It does look good now, so great. Should be good to go with all that. What's next? We still got bed wiring to do here at the back, so we can do that one. And then I also need to make a Y cable. So let me bring you down a little bit. We solved the bed issue last week with having to flip the kinematics. So flipping that around worked out. I ended up building and rebuilding the clicky in stop that you can't really see, but I promise it's there. Reprinted that, so that looks pretty good as well. I hope the hot end can reach it. I had not checked that up to now, and it cannot. So that's going to be fun. We'll have to figure that one out. The hot end is behind the bed, just not all the way to the in stop. So and I can't slide it forward because it hits the kinematic mount, so I think I might have to space it off of the frame and then slide it forward. So that's going to be some custom work there. Okay. Okay. So we'll get to it eventually. I need to do some CAD work. All right. Bed. So this is just an LDO bed, not part of a kit. You can buy this bed separately from all of your favorite resellers. Comes just like this, so there are no connections here. We could extend our thermistor with soldering, or you could make a pigtail there. But then you have this connection inside your cable chain that is going to junk it up, and I don't like that. And so I'd rather things move smoothly, so I think I'm going to cut this and solder those together. Same thing with our hot end wires. I just need some wire that makes sense for the hot end. What's this? Ah, yes, the joys of having to figure it out. You're in CAD right now. Hey, design me up a mount then. This might be enough to hold the cable. Cool, let's check it out. We've not been over to Chrome yet, and I need a little bit of a break to think about what I'm going to do. So let's click Nathan's link. Ah, it opened in the wrong window. One second. So Nathan suggests that we use this guy. Okay, that's cool. Voron Trident frame mount CAN cable guide. So this just mounts to the frame. Adds a little pass-through, very simple. What is that? Oh, it's an access point for the hardware. Okay. That looks like it might work. Look, it's rough. Use Wagos for the bed to cable chain connection under bed wiring. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We have those installed. I just need to do that. What I don't have is a pigtail for that thermistor though. The Wagos I'm using are, what are they? 2-pin, so that'll take care of the hot end, but the thermistor still needs soldering. And I still need to find wire to use on the other end of those Wagos for the bed. From Amanda's point of view, do not have those wires go all the way through the cable train straight. Yes, understand. There was another one that has like a swing arm type deal for it. Thermistor can be put in a Wago. It can, but it's a 2-pin. So again, there are 3 2-pin Wagos, which leaves me 6 positions. I've got 4 wires, and each wire needs 2, so that is 8. So I'd be shy 2 positions to do all the Wago stuff. So that's the challenge. I know that there are swing arm type mounts for this. I just don't know which one I would prefer to use. Add another Wago holder on the other side underneath. That's more things to print. That's more things to print. And I could do it. I could definitely do that. I don't know how I want to attack it yet. That's why we're looking at stuff, trying to find time, find a way to do it. But yeah, so I have a parametric, excuse me, words. I have a parametric version of the Wago holder that you can add additional Wagos if you need to. It makes it longer, smaller, whatever. I am going to use that, and we'll add another Wago in there. But printing is life. Yeah, printing is life. Print a lot, just not a lot of things. More, iterations of parts is what it ends up being. Hey, DJ Midnight Wolf, good morning. Or good afternoon, depending on where you are. I also need to find a solution for the exhaust. I don't want to run an exhaust, so whatever port with a PTFE entry is what I would be looking for. I know that I have, so if you go to my collections in here, you can see that there are a ton of different, where are these at? Ton of different stuff per printer. And I have a Trident one somewhere. This guy. This is a Trident collection. So as I find different things for different printers that are interesting to me, I'll just throw them in here. So if they're interesting to you, you can go to my profile and find these. And I know for sure, sent you a picture in the Discord. To me? Oh, you're on stream on my channel. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool. Damn, what do you got? Like, how many Wagos is that? You have like a Wago farm. I'm seeing at least. Oh, geez, what is that like? 12? 12 Wagos? I could do a pug exhaust. I could. There's a swing arm though that I'm looking for specifically, so that I can share, and I'm not sure where it is. So I'm just in. So this is the pug one that I was kind of thinking of, but I don't want to run the Nighthawk through there. I'd have to depin and redo all the work I've done. I'm not against it. It just, I'd like to avoid it if possible. But yeah, here's another Wago option we could use with ports for thermistors and bed fans. We could do that. I think this is the one that I like. This one works pretty good. Excuse me. This one uses a Prusa swing arm. It is enough Wagos. It is. Depending on what you got going on, you might need more. You're absolutely right. Sorry about that. I think this is the one. No, never mind. Never enough Wagos. Never enough Wagos. I'll figure it out. I don't want to waste a lot of time looking at this thing. I'll get need the split gland from Micron. Is that the one where it inverts the Z chain and then has an exit that goes up to the tool head and another one that goes down below? Not super familiar with that one, but I think I know what you're talking about. This is the swing arm I was talking about. Took me a while to find it, but this is what it looks like. So it's just a couple of bearings with a slot for piano wire, and it holds your PTFE tube. So it'll move back and forth and prevent it from rubbing up against the top panel, which could or could not create some issues over time. It'll at least make your panel look ugly if you have that thing rubbing up there. So this one works pretty well. I use this on my other Trident, and this is the one that I was looking for. So we'll download this. Button guide V2, download that guy to here. And for those that care, I will share this to you all. This guy. So this is the one that I'm going to use. Galvanic. Yes, but I don't remember the names of all these things. There's just too many things to remember. Well, yeah, galvanic. Hey, what's up, Dave? Good morning. Just a normal gantry gland is split with a gap in the mount so you can clamp the cable without depinning. Wix Central, if you have a link for it, that would help me find it a little easier. Let me make you able to do so. There you go. So if you have a link and can share it, please do so in chat, or you can do it in the stream chat on Discord, depending on what's easier for you. We would all appreciate it. Cool. So I need to print all this stuff. And very engineered swing arm. Yeah, I like it a lot. It works very, very well. And then you can slightly modify it to be a little bit longer, a little bit bigger. The CAD is here. There are remixes all over the place for this thing. So depending on what you're trying to do, here's a beefy Voron mount. Some of these I have not seen yet. There are mounts for different bearings, different thicknesses, all kinds of different stuff. Yeah. Whatever you like. But let's do a slicer. Where are you? Bang. Okay, so printer is not heated. Hold on one second. I needed to print some cable chain mounts, so I did that this morning as well. Do that, and let's turn on some chamber heat. Okay. You had to print these small cable chain secure mount things. This will work with a 2-pin or a 2-hole or a 3-hole. You see the slot there in the center to be able to get some adjustment, but I like this one because it works for everything. What I did not have was these for the 10x10 chain I want to use, so I needed to print a few of those. Short arm for Trident, long arm for V2. Yes. How's the build going? It's going. There's a couple things that I changed on the build that are causing, I don't want to say issues, that's not the right word, but causing us to have to find different solutions. And so I'm doing that because I was not prepared. And that's a me problem. I'm back. Yeah, sorry. We had the way YouTube works, you have to reset up the entire stream, and then, yeah, so beeping, right? So power went off. We have the, what's it called? Battery backup. We get the battery backup, and I think the power is really intermittent. And so, yeah, it's still going off. So I'm not sure if we're gonna stay back, but we're back for now. And I'm not sure why chat is not showing up here. Let's see how we're doing this. Yeah, we may not have chat overlay back. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Still think we should all move to the desert with bad power and cacti? No. No, there we go. There goes chat. Okay, okay. Man, that's a split gland. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. Let me grab that before we get too far down the road. Cool. So I'll tell you what, I'm not exactly sure how long this is going to go, and I don't really know what this is going to look like. So I'm kind of considering canceling a little bit. 2 streams mean 2 filament giveaways. No, because this thing is still beeping, which means it's relying on backup power right now, and I don't know how long that's gonna last. It's very intermittent today. That was not the case an hour ago. So maybe this is more of a chat and chill. Yeah, we're back. So for posterity, those that didn't make it in, what we're gonna do is combine first stream hour with whatever we get out of this, and I'll make an edit, and it'll be one long thing. But yeah, we're definitely not power stable today. Callie brownouts, yeah, jumper cables. Yeah, hit the like button now. Make sure we get it in there. But yeah, folks that got kicked out and are coming back, thanks so much for coming back. That was fully unexpected. Lost the entire streaming setup. Lights out, PC out, stream ended, all of it. Brownouts to Costa Crunchy. Yeah, so ours comes from, where's our power come from? I think it comes from like LA. Which should be pretty stable right now, but like some parts of the mountains are getting some snow and whatnot. What's an A5T? Hamster arms. Well, let's talk about it again real quick. All right, that's the wrong camera. Everything moved. A5T is the tool head that we're going to use. There was a pinned comment in the chat. Let me move the camera here for you.
Thanks for the sub.
A5T is the tool head we're using here. Steve Builds. Thanks for being a member for 4 months. We just lost power, Steve, and then came back. So I don't know what you guys are looking like up there, but down here we're like intermittent on power today. We had completely lost the stream and had to come back. So thanks for popping in. Need to get 1 or 2 of those toolboxes. Yeah, they're kind of cool. They're useful. But that's A5T right here. Let's move this up so you can see. There's your A5T. It's A4T with 50-15 fans on it. Yeah, we're back, Nathan. Hey, Maker Viking. Power's okay. Freaking cold. Yeah. Not too bad here. Yeah, I think what happened is I have just enough power in the battery backup to allow us to continue to go. But as soon as I started warming up that printer, it like sucked all the power out and we lost it. So I'm not going to do that again. And I'm hoping that things stay relatively stable so that we can get as far as possible. But that's A5T. All right, back around. I really need one of those lazy Susans. This thing's starting to get a little beefy. Okay, that's that. What we need to do is follow Rhett's instructions and get this into our Wagos. I don't really want to shorten this. I don't know that I have to or need to. We do need to unwrap that. Let's see. I don't think it's probably not a great idea to go across the top of your Z-axis here, but I can go under the bottom. And we'll do that. And then I'll add in more Wagos later.
Thanks for the sub.
After we're able to print. And that makes it super easy to make those connections. Just like that. Now we can add a little zip tie mount under there. So I've got these tiny little zip ties that fit into extrusions. So these that yellow is gonna like blast out the camera. But these tiny little things, they just go into the extrusion here, and then you twist them to have them stay in place. I'm just gonna add one to the bottom of the bed extrusion to add in a zip tie mount right below. And that way we can hold these wires securely in place. All right, this is for that. Let's bend that out of the way a little bit. Cool. A few zip ties will clean that up nicely. You can see the black piece there is the part that we had to reprint. I made that from, what is it called? PPS carbon fiber. I was worried about the stiffness once I chopped the top off. So we'll see. Check if the X end stop can trigger. Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. It cannot. Good call. Good call. It cannot trigger. The 5015 fans are in the way. Good call, Nathan. Yeah, so the fans hit the, what is that? What's it hitting there? The XY joiner before the end stop triggers. So I think a solution would be to redesign this portion here and add a little bump on the yellow portion. And we can measure that now. I could also just glue one on there, just print it, and then glue it on so we don't have to tear down the gantry and reprint parts. Hey, Andy Miller, thanks for being a member for 3 whole months. Bernard, we are building a legacy fork. It's a mashup of a Voron Trident and a Voron Legacy. So the gantry off of the Legacy is all linear rods and bearings like what you see here. The frame itself, though, because we have this top portion, is a Trident frame. And so you take the frame from a Trident, add in the AB motors and the gantry from a Legacy, and you end up with a Legacy fork. This is a project that Nathan designed and put together, or mashed up, or whatever you want to say. And we're building one on stream. Okay, so the little bump I'm seeing needs to be roughly 13 millimeters. And that's something that I can print and just add on to this yellow portion right here. We can put a little bit of 3D gloop on there and just glue it on. I really don't want to reprint the entire thing for no way. Yeah, A5T is too wide. A5T is too wide, so not recommended setup by any means. A4T would work. It's more narrow. Sounds like Stealth Burner will work, also more narrow. But A5T is too wide. But we'll figure it out. I just need to print some stuff. That's why we're doing this, to problem solve. Okay, 13 millimeter printed part here, a little bump to trigger that X end stop. The other option would be to make something that moves this X end stop from where it is currently out this way, 13 millimeters. A little less desirable because I imagine that would be flexible and would move where the end stop triggers. And so I'd rather have a stationary bump on this part to trigger that instead. It does mean I'm going to lose a little bit of X travel, but it doesn't appear to be that much. So if I measure from the nozzle currently, to the edge of the bed, it looks like I would lose, yeah, I would lose 15 millimeters. So instead of a 250 on the x-axis, it's going to be a 235. And then probably, let's look at this. On the right side, it's probably the same. Yeah, so we're actually going to lose about 30 on X travel using A5T. But again, this is a development platform. I'm not super worried. So we're going from 250 to maybe about a 220 on X with this setup. Double the views today. Yeah, double the views. That's the trick, man. It was all a ruse to get you guys to come and stream and like the stream twice. Thanks for the sub, Teach Rick. Is that how you say that? Teach Rick? What do I think about the Hector interview? I haven't seen the Hector interview yet. RJ Repo Man, I need to go back and watch it. I was unable to catch it live. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been really MIA except for stream days. Normally I'm very much a participant in other people's streams. I like to be interactive on Twitter and those kinds of things. I just have not had the time, bro, to do any of that stuff this week, and probably most of last week as well. I barely had some time last week. It really has been working and coming home, doing like 2 hours of family time, and then crashing out hard just to get up early and restart it again. So talking about Groundhog Day tomorrow, it has been Groundhog Day for me like the last 3 weeks. Every day feels the same. Every day is a lot. So I will catch it, I promise. I just haven't caught it yet. And if you're okay with it, I'll just DM you and let you know my thoughts. But good call on checking the X in stop, Nathan. I had not considered that yet. So we'll add that to the list too. So what I'm printing, new Wago mounts, a bumper for the X-axis, and a new Z-axis as well, because we need to adjust the location of the in-stop here. Cool. What I can do though, because I have the cable chains that have the openings on the edges, I can install this now and just kind of run the wiring later. We need to extend this. I know that Reth wants me to just pin this in and then have another one coming off. That's kind of the same thing, isn't it? I still will have a long wire going through the cable chain down to the board. It's just going to have an additional connection at a Wago mount. RJ Repo Man has recently started his YouTube channel, and he interviewed Hector on there, I believe. Or RJ Repo Man, I'll let you answer that a little different. I thought it was you. RJ wouldn't even ask Hector if he would be your friend. Yeah. So I need to do that. Luckily, I've got all this extra cable chain from when I removed them from my V2. I don't have the ends, and that's why we had to print these this morning. And so if I do that, that's going to be very floppy. I want this is also not going to work. This side, yes, let's do this side. So the side with the notches in here are going to keep the chain whatever position I install this. So that would keep it vertical. So as this rides up and down on the Z-axis, this part stays vertical like this. Otherwise, it's going to flop to the side, which is not what you want. You want the floppy end down here, because that's going to get caught anyway by how tall the mount at the bottom is. You didn't do it live, you did an edited video. Thanks for any feedback. Yeah, I need to edit at some point. I need to find some editing mojo to be able to do that. What are you yelling at me about, Reth? The goal from a maintenance point of view is that if you want to remove the bed, you don't have to remove all the wires. from the cable chain also. Yes, agree. However, so here's my thoughts. I've got stuff like this that I could definitely add on, right? So these are 2-pin connections, but this is more for bed fans. So I have this set to the side to do the bed fans. I just need to make a little bracket to prevent the pins from shorting on the frame. So I need to design that in CAD as well. Again, just no time this week. And if I can show this, I've already got that installed. So the one I just showed you is probably for the electronics underneath. So under here, if I angle this just right, you can see that my bed fans are connected here, and then I'll have another port here that goes down the cable chain to down below so that we have our bed fans powered, all right? So that's the idea behind that one. Now I would have to do another one for my thermistor if I were to do that, and I'm not against doing it. I just don't know that I have one that makes sense. This is a 1-to-3 splitter, which makes more sense used in the electronic space. So this is for my 60-20 fans. Whatever the big fans are down below, the 60mm fans, that's what this one is for. Editing is very new, harder than YouTube. Yeah, it's very hard. That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't do it. I'd rather do live. I'm going to have to edit today, though. Put these 2 streams together. Use CapCut, don't use it, pain and lacking feature. Yes, agreed. So what I have been exploring is DaVinci Resolve. It's free, and it seems very powerful and very overwhelming. So I've been trying to get smart on it, on the margins, and still not ready to take the leap to make an edited video, though. I don't record enough B-roll and all that to make an edited video. So whenever I get motivated to do that, maybe I will. Okay, I got one, Reth. I gotcha. So I've got this small one here that will work just fine. I just need to make a little bracket to protect it from the frame. So this little guy. I don't know where I got this one, but it's a 2-pin, and the camera is just not focusing at all. It's like when you lost power, it just doesn't want to work anymore. This guy. You're the weirdo who went on an interview and forgot your camera batteries. That makes for a quick interview. DaVinci Resolve is good. You're not even close to being good at it, but you make do when you need it, focusing more on streaming on Twitch. Yeah, I see notifications for when you go live. It's just, I'm at work when I see them. And I can't get on the phone at work. Okay, so these are all opened. And now we just need some flat heads to attach that there. And we'll get a good length on how many links I actually need for this. Penguin was a champ and let you use his camera. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I need to do that stuff. I know that I need to probably make some videos at some point. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. Let's do that. Let's find a tool here. I think I'm gonna just put that up there for now. That way I can use this. Hoping that is long enough. I think I might need a longer M3. Maybe not. There he goes. It's starting to grab, I think. It's just a pain. Yeah. Let's get a different longer M3 here. I'm just trying to use some hardware I had lying around. Let's grab one of these button heads and use that. Hopefully you'll stream when you have time to jump in eventually. Yeah, I mean, you're putting in a lot of work on Tinker Atlas, so I get it, dude. You got a full plate. You're the only dude working Tinker Atlas stuff. That makes it tough to do anything else. And trust me, I get it. Some weeks I feel, just being transparent and honest with the audience, like coming out here some days is like, oh, geez, I got to stream again today. Like, this is a lot. It weighs you down sometimes. Okay, I don't know if that's long enough or not. I think it will be once we add the mount on here. Let me adjust this down so you can see what I'm talking about. So because we have the 3mm plate, I had to make 3mm spacers for the hardware. And that allows the lower mount to sit flush on top of the plate. The challenge with that is, without having this in place exactly, your cable chain length is sort of unknown. And so what you want to do is get your bed up higher until it's basically touching the nozzle or wherever your initial print height would be for your initial layer. So get that up to where you need it to be. And it doesn't need to be perfect, but relatively level. Not like I'm doing here. The one that matters the most is this rear one. So once that rear one is as far up as possible, it's going to pull your chain as far up as possible. And that'll give you a good idea of how many links you need. So looking at this one, I'm touching at the top, but down below, I'm about 2 links short. So I know that I need the end link. That's one of them. The other one would be one off of here. So you probably are going to have a few links extra. If you end up breaking these little tabs or whatnot, you can replace it with some links from here. And that's the cool thing about cable chains, is that you can adjust them to where you want them to be. So I think I need that many links. And then once I add the end on here, just doing a rough estimate on that, it appears that that should be enough for this particular build. And these printed ones, you got to be careful because the layer lines are in a direction that make them easily broken. And so be careful when you're printing your ends. Don't want to snap them in half because then you'll be printing them again. I printed them pretty slow and pretty hot so that we got the best layer adhesion possible. Because they do tend to snap across the layer lines if you're not careful. Find a couple of button heads here. See if I can get this in place at least. Actually, let's use a longer tool. It's a weird angle trying to get to this thing. Yeah, TGL back. We had a power outage. Lost power, which meant we lost the streaming PC and, you know, subsequently the stream as well. Come on, baby. You gotta have like 3 hands to do this. You haven't been able to design models for quite a while. Hope you'll have some time for that. Dude, there's just so many things to do and to keep track of that it's tough to keep track of everything. I mean, it's almost a full-time job being a creator of any kind, especially if you have multi-disciplines. So like, let's say you stream and design models and do other things as well, like, I don't know, Tinker Atlas. I could see that being tough to manage. Kudos to you for even wanting to do all that. Printed links are way better than the stock ones on your K1. Yeah, I mean, if you print them well, it should be fine. Going to get stream prep sushi. All right. All right. I wish there was good sushi around me, man. The best sushi around here is like 2.5 hours away. All right. So that goes on there. I'm dealing with a different setup because I've got this giant plate. And so I've got a washer and a spacer to worry about. And so the way that I've been doing this is I'll do one screw into the, what's that called? The T-nut. And then the other one, I just rotate the bracket. So I'm doing one screw at a time. I've got them installed currently just to hold the spacers in place and not lose them, because they like to fly around. And so just like that. Wouldn't be a normal stream if we didn't drop stuff on the floor. Come on, there we go. That's what you love to do. Would never have used so much time on it if you didn't. Just wish the day had more hours. Yeah. I mean, I think we all sort of like doing this stuff. Whatever your passion is. We all like creating and making cool things and hanging out with one another. That's why I like hanging out over here and doing this stuff. I'd probably be out here talking to myself if I wasn't with you all. I'd be using a lot more F words today, though, I'll tell you that. All right. So that's roughly in the place that it needs to be. We'll figure out a little bit later on where. And then once we tighten this down, that chain will be vertical. It won't be as floppy as it is. Is 5T finally stable? I don't think so. Lupao Christian? I don't think it is stable. I think it's still very much beta. I've had to do several iterations. So this is one of them. This didn't work. Brownout and Feb, DaVinci Resolve has a little bit of a learning curve to it. Yeah. So that's the thing. You just have to use it and practice, just like anything else. What carriage will I use? I'm using the Legacy fork carriage, which is based on a Clockwork 2 carriage. So if you have a Clockwork 2 carriage, you're going to be fine. Legacy fork supports self-burner and A4T. So if it fits on A4T, it's going to fit on A5T. That's a good rule of thumb. Of note, if you're getting here a little bit late though, on this particular build, on this Legacy fork, A5T contacts your XY joiners. So you're going to lose some travel, and you'll have to figure out a method to have an X stop, because it also doesn't reach. You have no carriage, you want to put your A4T on your SV08, you don't know what carriage is best for it, you will use Cartographer as well. Lupal, it sounds like you need to find a Clockwork 2 carriage of some kind. I don't have one down here to demonstrate. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have one down here, and I don't know very much about how the SV08 is constructed to be able to give you any advice on that. I think there are ways to add a Clockwork 2 to a SV08. So if you can figure out those, then A4T and A5T should mount to it. So you just got to find a way to put a stealth burner on there, and then you'll get it. Hey, Tulsa Skin. Use Shotcut, which is basic, simple, and easier learning curve. You have told me about that. I have downloaded that. It is, Boothie, I'll tell you, it's very much the same as DaVinci, but with less features. So yes, I could see why you would say that'd be easier. €10 CNC carriage. If your carriage will fit on an SV08, go for it, because that's what you need. You need a carriage that's going to work with stealth burner. 2020 on X and a 12 rail. Yeah, so I would do that. It sounds like what you need is that CNC carriage. And if you can do that, then your A4T, A5T will work just fine. Yeah, so that's a little bit floppy. I probably need to increase. Need to take another look at how I'm doing that spacer there. I might just make an entire lower half, like a, I don't know, a slice of the bottom of this mount, and then just extend 2 little legs 3 millimeters on this backside to be able to contact this rail. Just extend that portion down and keep everything else. And that'll make that a little more stable. It's a little bit wobbly right now, which tells me it's spaced too high. And even if it wasn't, I think it'd be a little bit wobbly there. So, yeah, figure that out later when we're doing the rest of the parts that we got to do. Cool. So already at 9 o'clock. Geez, we lost a lot of time when we had to shut down. So I'm gonna go till about 9:30 today. I got things and stuff. Things and stuff to do. All right, one more. What do we got here? One more button head should take care of that. And I've got you here. Come on. Sorry, my fat head's getting in the way. Just can't see what I'm doing here. All right. We should see that cable chain tighten up a little bit here in a second. As soon as you start to engage in the threads. Why are you not working? Again, sorry if my head's in the way. Trying to see what's going on. Oh, it's not long enough. Jeez. We are winning today, folks. It's short by like a millimeter. And I think that might be because I just installed that heat insert a little bit deeper than the other one. If you guys have not gotten into the giveaway, we're going to need to do that here in the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. So if you like LDO filament or you've never tried it and want to, go ahead and get in the giveaway. See what we can do for you. It's going to be US only, so for those that are outside the US, please don't, I don't want to say waste your time, but I can't send you anything, so don't enter. All right, so that should be fine there. We got some movement, no binding, works great. Okay. He said, dang it. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Maker Viking. We'll take care of you one day. One day. I need a Polymaker sponsor. That's what I need. Polymaker sends it everywhere. I just can't help with any of that right now. Okay, where are we? So I needed to, hold on. What's happening? This, and this. All right, so I know that I need to print that stuff. Let me make a quick checklist while we're getting set up for a filament giveaway here. That'll give you guys a few extra minutes to get inside and log in all your information. Got to be here to win, so do that. Okay, so what do we need? We need the galvanic, because Reth is in the chat. We got to make sure we use the right words. We need the galvanic PTFE mount. And we need the X-in stop bumper. So that's a CAD thing that I have to do. What else we need? We need that Z-chain mount. It's also a CAD thing. What else? What am I forgetting, guys? He said that's right. Oh, what else am I forgetting, guys? I think I got it all. Z chain mount, X end stop. Oh, Wago, that's what it was. The Wago stuff, so we don't get in trouble. Made a 3-egg hash brown pepper jack cheese with Italian sausage. Nice. I think you mean omelet. Polymaker is one of the few you can participate in. Yeah, so if we got a Polymaker sponsor, that'd be great because now I can go everywhere. I think I'm still too small. I don't think they want to work with me yet. Looks just like a bushing. You just replaced from your A-arm. You still have a Saturn? Good. Googly moogly. Okay. Yeah, so that's our list of things to work on today when we get time later. Got it. Put a 5mm brass washer between the two parts of the galvanic if not using bearing, and use a lock nut to hold it all together. Yes. Got it. Will do. What else? What else can we do today with this machine? Let's make a Y-end stop. It's just 2 cables, and then I know this is a little bit shorter stream and not as productive as I would have liked, but we are so close. We're just running into some limitations because I got off track. All right, so I need 2 wires to connect our Y-end stop here. Let's see what I have. Got some black wire. Got a whole 100-foot spool of this black FEP wire. Guys. Thanks, John. Dishwasher and still in it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I love it. Yeah, mine are up and moving around. They're in there. I actually got to go somewhere today. So right now, this connection is a Molex 2-pin. Let me grab the female side of that. All right. This is not female side. It's male side. Here we go. We got our female connections here. Need the vertical 2-pin like that. Let's make sure that fits, and it does. It's got pins inside, so we need holes on the outside. So females. Grab a couple of these. Exhaust cover. Yeah, we got to look at exhaust cover. We'll add that to the list as well. Thanks for the reminder, Nathan. Always here saving the day. I want to keep it simple. I'm not doing a fan or a filter in there, so it's just really a cover. I've got a few in mind from when I built my Trident. I just need to find where that lives in the drive. Where do you put the chamber temp thermistor? Six axis. I hope I'm saying that right. Correct me if I'm not. You can put it wherever you like. So you can add it. So I've seen it added to the frame, like in a corner right here. You can add it here. You can put it down here, wherever you like. I've seen it up in the top corner. It's a little bit harder to see. Let's move this camera. So I've seen it up here, which is going to give you like the best temperature because heat rises. If you put it down below at the bottom, say down here, you're going to get too cold, so it's going to take a while. Probably the best location, considering all of that, is probably somewhere in the middle, like in this area. You can put it on the back. You can put it on this vertical. There are a lot of different mounts and places to do it. But what I would say is that the Nighthawk also has a temperature sensor on there. So you need to have a heart attack to lose weight? No. No. Your dishwasher's at work. You used to be a rail, and then you hit 45 and it all sticks. Clown hammer, get out of here. You're still a rail. I will be 42 in 2 weeks. And I am still roughly the same weight as I was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's backwards. Let's go this way. Could eat everything in sight. Yeah, well, that's the problem. Put down the fork. That's where you were thinking, near the motor. Yeah, that's always a good place. It's kind of hidden out of the way as well. So whatever makes sense. I tend to go around the middle of the chamber if I'm going to add a standalone chamber thermistor. That way I'm not getting skewed data. But whatever makes sense for your build. I mean, sometimes you're forced into picking the best, worst option. Okay. So just doing a rough measure from where we are down the extrusion and then across to where I think this is going to live on the board. Whoop. So we'll cut that, I don't know, with some spare room, and we'll make another one roughly the same length. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to add a spare chamber thermistor on this build though. I still don't even have panels. I got to figure out panels still, like what that looks like and where those are coming from. This has been a priority, but also kind of not during the week. By the time I remember to do stuff, it's already Sunday, so I've got to do all the things that we need to do. I need to get figured out today. I'm really trying to finish this up in the next 2 weeks because I'm gone this second half of February. So which means the week of the, what is that, the 20th? You're just too short for your weight. Used to be 6'3", 180. Now you're 85 and 4'11". 275? I doubt that. Come on. Wrath, you look good. But looking great. Thanks, Nozzle Clog. You started at 40. So I'm just trying to catch up with chat a little bit. You shrunk more than a foot, got wider and wider. Shorter and wider, sorry. Totally extinct by 90. You're 6'3", 253, which is the same as your prime, but the difference is way less muscle. Yeah, so that's the thing. If you don't work on that stuff, gentlemen especially, we lose muscle mass in favor of fat mass as we get older. So gotta stay on top of it, boys. Can't let these women make you soft. Because all they do is take care of us, right? They make us comfortable. They feed us well. And then we get complacent. Turned 46 in a month. Congrats. Are we doing a birthday party live stream? Oh, gotta finish crimping this guy. You blame beer? Funhouse mirrors in the enclosure would be fun. I really want to find some wrap, like some vintage, what's it called? Taco Bell wrap. Whatever that pattern was they had in all their restaurants in the 90s, that's what I need. If I can find some of that, that would be perfect. I have not been able to find it. Someone suggested like a tortilla wrap for the thing, but it's not the right size. They sell, what's it called? 12 by 12 inch pieces of vinyl, and that's not big enough to cover a back panel. But that would be pretty cool to have it look like a tortilla. Four subs away from 100. Heck yeah. Hit that goal tomorrow. Penguin Makers, put it out there, man. If you guys aren't subscribed to Penguin Makers, go get them some subs, get them up to 100. We're trying to finish a Voron build with Penguin Makers. This thing is like not staying in there, so I'll pin this, I'll pin it, and it comes right back out. So I don't know what's going on with that. Let me trim this and restart, I suppose. That's the one that I already made as well, so let's take this off. Let's try again. I don't know what's going on with this crimp here. You hit 110 on Twitch yesterday. Congratulations, Maker Viking. If you guys aren't following Maker Viking, follow him as well over on Twitch. RJ Repo Man, you got 51 today. I did see your post on that. Getting 50 subs. So now you're at 51. It's huge, man. I remember when that happened. We just got over 1,000, and I remember how exciting that was. Just cracking 1,000. But I also remember when I made 50, like that was amazing. I didn't think that 50 people would stick around and watch this kind of stuff, but I guess they do. I guess people do like what we're doing over here. All right, one more try. Come on, let's do it. All right, that one works. So I think we had just a bad crimp there or something. Just that end piece did not want to work. Okay. That's enough of that. On the end of this, we could just add a 2-pin, I think is what it is for a Y end stop. Looking at my board down here. Those are all fan ports. Where are my end stops? What is that? End stops are 3-pin connections. All right, let's make sure that we have the right one here. Let's go over to our Chrome page. And we'll go to Manta M5P. We're already previously here. So again, about 10 minutes out from the filament giveaway. So just a reminder to get in there and do that for folks. Ted Loeb, thanks for the sub. Every little one helps, and you are a part of that. Thank you so much. That's why you had to thank community for being there. 50 would have been thought, yeah, it's a good feeling, yeah, for sure. You have a hard time with Twitch. It's very confusing. Yeah, I'm kind of the same, RJ Repo Man. It's a lot going on, but then also I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what bits are. I don't know like what hype trains are and that kind of stuff. It sounds like it's a good thing for the creator that's doing it. I just don't know how I can do those things. Like, how do I get bits? How do I hype train something? I don't even know what those words mean. Okay. End stops. Here we go. Okay, so they are 3-pin end stops. My pinout, I wish this was smaller. Pinout doesn't show me anything. Who's trying to... Sorry, I'm just getting your messages through Discord here. So thanks for everyone for jumping back in there and trying to get us back up. And appreciate you for dropping the link there, RJ Repo Man. I'll go back and watch your interview with Hector. You don't know what the bid is either? Yeah, thanks. Can you make me a McLaren? I can make you whatever you want. Just reach out to me. Where is AT? Is that what you're asking? AT? It's on the printer. I'm trying to make a Y-in stop, but I need to know what the pinout is so that I know where to put those pins for the end stops. Okay, so I'm looking at min 1 for X. I'm not worried about that. Min 2 is my Y. That one's here. So it looks like our top and bottom pin, the PD2 and the ground are what we want. So we don't need 5 volt for an end stop. It's just a open or close switch. You're now at 111. Look at that, Maker Viking. Gonna have to sit down with someone who Twitch streams and have them lay it all out. Yeah, same. I don't know if you talked to Keela or not, but she streams on Twitch. She was here earlier. Maybe she could get you some pointers. And then Liz is always super helpful if you feel comfortable talking to her. Zombie is helpful as well. Canuck Creators on Twitch, and honestly, I don't Twitch that much, so I don't know a lot of people over there, but those are the ones that come to mind immediately. Keela's who you're thinking about. Yeah, Keela is super helpful. Her and Jeremy helped me kind of get started with YouTube and whatnot, and they're always trying to help. So I think if you have some like basic questions or whatever, they should be able to point you in the right direction. I realize I'm signing them up to do work, and I feel a little bit bad about that, but yeah, they were super helpful for me. What the hell did I do with my connections? Oh, they're under the heat shrink. Okay, let's get all this figured out. This is a 3-pin connection, so we've got one of those, and then we'll get our little crimps out, and we'll make this thing work here. Stein Keela up. She answers 50,000 questions a day. I always feel bad though. But I'm one of those guys, admittedly, I don't like to ask for help, which is a positive and a negative. It means that I do my homework before I ask the question. So if I am asking for help, it means like I've truly kind of found the limit of what I can learn on my own. But then also, it's bad because, you know, not asking for help it can take twice as long to solve the problem when all you could have done is ask a simple question. So if you're going to ask anybody anything, I recommend you do your homework first, figure out as much as you can within reason, and then ask the question. If it's easily Googleable, probably not appropriate to ask a question. And then be receptive to folks being busy and not being able to get back to you. So again, this is all volunteer stuff. So, all right, let me see how this is oriented. So we said top and middle pins. And for us on this one, that would be this guy here. And then center pin. And actually, I'm going to twist this a little bit. Fabrico Hector is a much watch. Wink, wink. Was Twitch started by someone with turrets? Oh, Tourette's. It was started by Amazon, so maybe? I don't know what they have. But I do like that you can just use whatever music you want without being copyright struck. I do like that. There's some positives to being on Twitch. It's just difficult at first unless you're over there a lot. Cool. And then I just pinned that and realized that I forgot the hole down below is very small, and I'm going to have to depin this just to get it back through there. But that's a future KP problem. We're going to worry about that later. We need to give away filament right now and probably wrap the stream. So for those that are still here and need to get in, you got to do it. I don't do countdowns, so if you're not in there, you're going to miss out. So I'm just trying to get cleaned up here. It used to be Justin TV. I've never heard of that. Very humble. His employees are so happy working. It's unreal. Yeah, if I get down that way, I'm going to swing by for a visit as well. I think Hector's a good dude. You find the sound bites and stuff distracting. Wick Central, I'm with you. It's tough to get over there and watch every stream, but I do like to support the folks that support me and the good people. So I'm usually checking in on Pez Liz's stream and Zombie stream. I try to make Canuck Creator when I can. It's during the day, so that's tough for me. And yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up here. I let chat get away from me. It could be a bit too much. Yes, agree. Hector's great. Yes. You won't be sad to visit. I'm never sad to visit any place that has 3D printers. Even the most crappy makerspace, I'm happy to go and check out just because. If YouTube would just let you tag people on mobile like Twitch, they'd be better off. I agree. They should allow that. But I don't work there. I don't know why they don't do it. They have the money. Yeah, it would be nice. Right now, it's autocorrect. So if I've typed it in before and my phone remembers it, it'll autocorrect to whatever, and I can do it that way. And that seems to work. Most of the time when I'm in other streams, it's because I'm on mobile. So I know that I have this one set up, this stream here set up to push you over to Steve Builds at the end of it. But he doesn't start until 10 o'clock. I need to run here in like the next 10 minutes. So it may try to push you over there, but you're going to just wait until Steve starts. All right, let me pull your names over. That should be enough time for everyone to do a thing. I'm seeing 43 responses. 43 folks. Okay. All right, looks like Skyrim was first at 7:35 this morning, and then Mike, you're number 2, buddy. You're number 1 in my heart, but number 2 on the list. And Andy Miller, last in today. So we'll do that. Let's close this giveaway. Done. Wheel of names and paste. Let's move this over here to a window you guys can see and get you on. All right, so there are all of your entries. 10 minutes gives you enough time to swap out your water heater. Yeah. You got to go find out how to push your people over. So RJ Repo Man, it's easy. When you get to 1,000, you will unlock certain extra features that are not necessarily available to you now. But if you want, call me on Discord or something and I'll walk you through it quickly once we finish up stream here. So just give me like 5 minutes after stream and then we can work. I can show you how to do it. Cool. How many times are we spinning this thing, folks? This is for 1 LDO filament. What? How many times are we going to spin this? 5? You're nowhere near that. You'll do then. I'll do then. I get close. Okay. 7. All right. RJ Repo Man is the number 1 top fan today, so we'll go with 7 because that's what he recommended. Andy Miller's over here changing numbers. He's saying 12 at first and then 13. When? Yeah, I'm tracking. 77 not happening. Joe Do is me. I put wrong name and Joe Do? I don't know Joe Do. If teleport don't work, you'll walk over to Steve. There you go. It's going to try to push you. It's just going to push you to the lobby until he actually goes live. Gorilla Biscuits. That's a new one. You have 2 accounts. 6-axis. Copy. Yeah, keep me on my toes. I'm always on my toes, man. Try to never be on my heels. Gorilla Biscuits, are you here? I don't remember you chatting today, so I can't really see. Can we do an infinite spin? I see you now. Gorilla Biscuits, congratulations. What I'm going to do now is post-stream, I will pass your email address over to LDO and the team. They're going to reach out to you to get your address because I don't want to be responsible for that. And then they'll figure out what type and color filament you want, and they will send it over to you. If you don't get an email in the next like day or two, it means that I forgot to send your information over. So just please reach out to me and then I'll fix myself. All right. So congratulations to you. Enjoy. I would love to see what you print with your filament. So if you're not in my Discord, there's a link in the description where you can post your make and show us all what you made with your winnings. So congrats again. Tell Jason to send it to repo. I'm sure Jason would probably send you something anyway. All right. We can close this. Done. All right. Looked at that. Okay. So I want to double check before we get too far along that I have things connected where I'm supposed to be connecting them. So taking a look at the Nighthawk pinout. I'm not sure if this is on a GitHub or not. It has to be. Like Jason and LDO are pretty good about doing that. I just don't know what the link is. And so where I am is docs.ldomotors.com. And for those that want to do this in the future, I know that someone was asking about, switching over from a Stealth Burner version to a 36 version. You would want to go here. You would want to go here to find the information on pinout and voltages and all that kind of stuff. So, pretty simple schematic on how to connect things and stuff. You got some design schematic here as well if you want to design your own mount. And then this is the part that we're really kind of after is what pin goes where. This top portion is interesting because it's a USB expansion port. Although I think that would be more for like a cartographer or a beacon is what I imagine that is for. We're not doing it on this printer, so I don't exactly know. Don't look at the expansion board schematics. It's all wonky and not done properly. Okay. Well, RJ Repo Man says it's wrong. LDO Docs is best. Yeah. I typically try to go to the place that manufactures the product to find the information for the product. But sometimes the community documents things better or more easily understandable than other places. So agree with a caveat. I just want to do a little bit of that. Okay, so looking at this, and then we'll verify over here that everything is connected properly. Let me move your camera view. I'm seeing that a lot of you are posting messages to me and stuff. Let me just double check my Discord. Okay, so folks are streaming later. Penguin Makers, what are you saying? Crazy week? Cabling. Yeah, Penguin Makers, I'll get back to you. And then the other folks are posting that they're streaming soon. Great. So cool, no real updates for me. Sorry. Some folks like to post things in stream chat, which is what it is for, and I like to be cognizant of that as well. Okay, this is pretty simple. Motor plugs into the motor port. Toolhead cable plugs into the Toolhead cable port. VMOT 1 has everything leading to it. Nothing leaves from it. J1, J2 are not jumpered. Has a throughway, but goes through VMOT 1 and never exits. RJ Repo Man, I have no idea what any of that means. I'm not an electrical engineer. It does seem like there's a place right there on the board to add another 2-pin connection because there are through holes. You can add a 24 volt in the ground. I don't know what that's for, but that's cool that it's there. It says Pi 2 above the port, so I don't know. Either way, there's some extra capability there. Okay, part cooling fan on this side. Looks like the positive is on the lower pin, which is checks. Same for the right side, positive on the lower pin, checks. Here our 3-pin connection is the hot end fan. 3-pin because the center pin is a tack. So a little bit different here, positive is on the top. Good to go. Jumper is also 24 volt. You want to check that if you are using a 24 volt fan. If you're using a 12 or a 5, you probably are going to blow it up. So make sure that your jumper is set to the correct voltage there. Looks like X in stop is good to go. Orientation on the wiring doesn't matter there. Let's see, what else? This is our Z in stop. Sorry, probe port, but that's where we have our Z in stop connected. Ground and probe, so upper and center, good to go there. Thermistor right next to it, again, no orientation required. And heater is connected as well to the only heater port on the board, and no orientation there. So wiring initially looking good here. The expansion board you were talking about, 3 hours of your life dissecting that thing. Oh geez, expansion board? I don't even know what the expansion board is. I thought that was a USB expansion port. So when you get a cartographer, and I can demo this really quick. When you get a cartographer, you can opt to get additional cables. And so you get a discount if you order your Nighthawk cables with your cartographer. So this one will be Nighthawk. This one is for EBB 36. All right. So when I look at the Nighthawk cable, it's got a 5-pin connection, and that is a 6-pin connector. So that doesn't, maybe, okay, I counted wrong. It is a 5-pin connection. So that is supposed to connect in there, as far as I understand. And that's why it's a USB expansion. So that would go there. This goes down to your cartographer, and you have a secure thing. Are you saying that is incorrect? Because that's not what I understood. And this is a cartographer 4 kit, by the way. Posted it in stream chat. Okay, I'll check it out. That's probably a more involved question. Yeah, I wasn't tracking anything that you were saying. So we'll learn something today. Okay. Well, folks, a little bit of a shorter stream. I kind of feel bad we didn't get more done. We lost, what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes trying to go from stream to stream when we lost power. So lesson learned. I won't be doing that again. Where do I look at LDO filament? Gorilla Biscuits, you can go to Fabrico. They are a reseller of LDO filament. I believe they're the only one that I'm tracking. You can go to Fabrico.com. Be careful on the site you go to. It should be Fabrico.com. Check out all the LDO filaments there. So feel a little bad we didn't get as far as I would like. But I need to print a bunch of things, it sounds like. I need to reprint some other stuff. You're welcome, sir. And then, yeah, I guess we'll be back next week trying to wrap this thing up. My goal. All right, goal for between now and next week. I've got next week Sunday, which is the 7th. And then I've got, what's the one after that? The 14th, sorry, not 7th. 8th and 15th are the last streams of February. So I've got 2 more streams. I'd really like to get this thing done before then. So what I plan to do is try to get this as far along as I possibly can. We are so close, it's not even funny. Wiring is done. It just needs firmware. It needs a couple of printed parts, and we got to connect the bed. Other than that, it's almost ready to go. I mean, of course, panels and things like that, but functionally it should work the state that it's in. 24-hour stream, not happening. Not happening at all. Unless you want to see Hangry Joe, you don't want a 24-hour stream. So yeah, we have 2 streams. The goal is to finish this up in 2 streams, and I think we can do it before I have to take the the second half of February off. Had to try. I don't blame you. Just saying, not gonna happen. So yeah, I'll be gone for 2 weeks. I'll come back the beginning of March, and hopefully we'll get some time there to play with it, tune it, and that kind of thing. So finish, and then we'll take a short break, miss a week, and do a little bit of tuning on it. When do I move? No idea. No idea. Tulsa Skin, I should know when and where come the first week of April. is what I'm understanding. What are we supposed to do without me? Reth, you might have to stream. Maybe you and I can stream your setup over there. I can jump on with FaceTime and just be a guest on your channel. How about that? All right, 10 Talent, see you, buddy. Stream's going to try to push you guys over to Steve Build. So if you want to hang out for 15 minutes, you'll get auto moved over there. But as soon as the stream ends, there's going to be a quick delay of like 30 seconds and it'll auto push you. So you can do that, or you can click the link that is always posted in chat to go directly over as soon as stream is over. Yeah, so Ref, let me know what you want to do. It'll be the 22nd. 22nd is what we're looking at. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to link up with Lego Therapy, who is also often in the chat. He streams Lego content. I may end up on his channel. It never pushes you, but we'll see you there. Okay. Stream the move. Oh, geez. That would probably have to be an edited video. But we might be able to live stream from the cab of the U-Haul that I'm driving to whatever location. Sweet. So I'm gonna go do some work on this. I really need to jet. So gonna do some work on this tonight. First thing in the morning, try to get those updates incorporated. That way when we come back together next week, we'll be able to press forward without too much delay. I will do my best to think ahead this time so we don't get behind the power curve, because right now this kind of sucks. So apologies to the crowd and the audience. Also, I owe you guys a member stream. Trying to get that scheduled for Friday, if not Saturday. So be on the lookout for that one for all the members out there. I owe you a member stream. Sorry it's taking me so long. It's just been a lot going on lately. So we'll miss you. We'll see you in a few weeks, Reth. Cheers, Boothie. See you guys. Enjoy, Steve. We'll see you next week.